lot of you may know, young Dabo is the face of being chopped. Dude, that joke is played out. Talk about something new. Okay, fine. But joke's on you. I wasn't going to talk about how the internet calls Dabo chopped. There's actually something else. So if you remember in my Art of Humiliating Yourself for Views video, I brought up how Dabo leaning into the chop jokes not only affects him, but it also affects how people treat his girlfriend. Well, that's his ex now. And they're also a toxic couple. And it's kind of insane how we can watch someone go through a toxic relationship every step of the way. I definitely feel bad for both of them, Dabo and Aya, because I've been in my own toxic relationship, and if you guys had to watch me go through that, I probably wouldn't even show my face online. Shout out to my friends though, they watched that and it wasn't pretty. But I say all this to say, it's very bad. We as an audience should not be witnessing teenagers in these vulnerable moments of their life. Nobody should be seeing people grapple with young love live. It's pretty dystopian in a sense. You're monetizing pain, but let me stop preaching like I'm Socrates. Let's start. So yesterday was streamer prom and it was hosted by Funny Mike. It was a way for streamers to go and dance and enjoy themselves. And honestly, I messed with this idea entirely. Coming from someone who has been to both homecoming and prom, both my junior and senior year, and I think my freshman and sophomore year. Well, that was just homecoming, but you get what I mean. It was great though. Being able to tap back into that headspace, that high school mindset, even though all these streamers are past that time in their life, is just so nice. It's beautiful. So I can't help but appreciate the fact that Funny Mike did that. In other words, bro, it's supposed to be good vibes all night. It was supposed to be, until Dabo and his ex-shorty Aya couldn't keep it cordial. But before I actually get into the current situation, let me give you guys some context. So back in Streamer University, Dabo and Aya were having a lot of problems, and it was also live streamed for everyone to see. But one of the biggest issues was that Aya called this dude ugly and was apparently, according to Dabo, not trying to walk around holding his hand. And if you're not tapped in, if a person is trying to dodge being around you on camera, that means they don't mess with you. Straight up.
But like, I ain't gonna lie, like, do you really think I give a like I've been told you, niggas, I've been told you ever since you said that you didn't want to be in this room, you could have got the out. You know what I mean? You chose to stay in here, so you lay your bed here, you're gonna stay there, alright? You've been so rude to me. When we walking around campus, you not holding my hand. And whenever we in class, we not holding my hand. But then after that, when we off camera, and after that, when we not on camera, and after that, you on my want to start acting, show me affection. But when we in public around other niggas, want to show me affection. Clocker, thank you.
Yeah, I don't like you.
Well, my ugly ass?
Yeah, I don't like you.
I'm ugly?
Yeah, I don't like you.
I'm ugly?
Yeah, I don't like you.
You don't like me?
And honestly, I do feel a little bad for Dabo here. I think sometimes they be clip farming or whatever and joking for the camera, which is a problem in and of itself, because nobody should see you exuding negativity about your partner, because I've said it before, it makes people comfortable with that and they will inevitably start disrespecting you. That inevitably leads you down the path to them treating you the same way you're treating your partner. However, I think this was real, because nobody jokingly calls their partner ugly or actively avoids being seen with them in public. And once again, this is being broadcasted for the world to see, and that's not right. It's the equivalent to having your dirty laundry aired, and part of it is Dabo's fault, because when you make it as a streamer, you're incentivized to broadcast your pain. So that's why we see this. But after that, Dabo sought out the guidance of India Love, which is interesting because I don't really think she's qualified, but it was a wholesome moment. She also gave guidance to Aya too, but I think the key takeaway here is that Dabo called Aya a succubus.
Not toxic, she's a succubus.
So with that being said, going into what I'm about to show you guys, the relationship is done. Well, maybe not done because they're on and off, but they're in a rough spot, especially after Streamer University. And now that takes us to Streamer Prom, where Aya and Dabo got into an altercation. Now the clip doesn't show all of the context, but I'll let y'all see. And make sure you listen very closely. The audio is terrible.
She gonna throw the water at him. She didn't even get you.
If you you listen to what Aya says, she said she was gonna slap Dabo, and that the reason she's doing this is because he was basically talking some mess. Obviously, it's easier said than done to be cordial, especially around an ex, but this is a big event and niggas gotta keep it classy. She ended up throwing Sprite or water, I'm pretty sure Sprite though, which is crazy, and walked away. Now, if this was all that happened, this video wouldn't even be a thing, but clearly it's not. Had she just walked away, it would have been cool. Yeah, the water slash Sprite is crazy, but it's gonna dry when you're out there dancing. However, there's another clip of Aya walking up to Dabo, and then another little back and forth initiates.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Don't talk to my man, bro. No. I got some bitches out there. Hey, he got you.
Truth be told, I can hardly hear what's being said at the start of the clip. The thing that stood out to me though is that Dabo said he'd have a female friend basically come and put the hands on Aya. That's pretty crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Personally, I wouldn't take that disrespect. Nah, I'm just joking. But number one, bro, stuff never be that serious. Niggas are literally there to enjoy themselves. And number two, bro, that's your ex. How are you gonna move on when you're putting yourself in that headspace? Not saying Dabo's innocent, because he's definitely not. And I'm gonna briefly touch on it a little later. But it's bad energy and it's a bad frequency to be living on. And also, apparently, she was talking about his friend, which provoked it. But once again, not that I can really hear, it's pretty bad audio. And even if that was the case, bro, walk away. Boy, slow down, literally. Or girl, slow down in this scenario. Even if she talk and mess about the friend, that's clearly hurt and she's tripping. So you just walk away. Aya would again end up throwing some Sprite all over Dabo. This time, the altercation was a little bigger.
Still right my thing. Relax. No, you got me. No, I don't care. Alright, but you don't don't be out now. She got me. Why are you coming up to me?
Now, I would have said this is Dabo's fault considering he did low-key provoke her by saying she still rode him, which was probably embarrassing. I don't think anyone should throw anything they've done with previous partners back in that same person's face after the relationship ends. In Dabo's defense though, Aya did call him ugly before, which he confirmed in a separate clip where he was talking with Silky. To me though, it really is just a maturity thing. These are teenagers, so you can't expect the optimal reaction in an emotional environment. That's another reason why we shouldn't even be seeing this shit. And that goes for me too. I'm 18 myself, even though I've definitely grown and matured from that relationship I was in. Back then, I would definitely be prone to having incidents like this. I've had screaming matches on the school grounds, so I get it. And it's clear at the end of the clip, they're both the issue, hence why it's a back and forth thing. It's a 1+2 altercation. But Aya did end up addressing her side on stream, so let's talk about that.
You gotta stand on business, you ain't slapping, because you know damn well I wasn't gonna slap him. Like, just because I said that don't mean I'm gonna do it. Like, I was just mad in the moment. But obviously I wasn't gonna do that. But I would slap him one-on-one though. I'll slap him one-on-one, but I wouldn't slap him in front of others. I feel like, nah, that's crazy.
Okay, so outside of her saying she'd slap him privately, which is pretty crazy, her saying that it was just an emotional reaction, I understand it to an extent. You have this super publicized toxic relationship and you're going back and forth. You're losing your mind, okay? Fair enough. Dumb as hell to say it, but I get it. Aya also did end up apologizing for how everything went and actually explained where she was coming from.
Yeah, I'm sorry for getting my feelings. Like, my feelings, like, bro, one thing about me is if I feel a certain way, like, if you get me mad and you get me to that point, you don't want to get me there, bro. You just don't. Like, if I feel embarrassed, especially in front of other people, that's going to make me go crazy. So I had to do that. But honestly, I'm sorry. Sorry. But don't make me go crazy, because you just embarrassed me in front of everybody.
Now, in my opinion, I really don't like people that say, when I'm angry, I see red, which is what that was giving. Control your emotions, that's goofy as hell. But still, I get it. She clearly felt embarrassed because, I said it before, you really shouldn't throw that back at someone. If you sleep with someone, leave it there, especially if y'all break up. Throwing that back is goofy, I'm not gonna lie. So with that being said, I guess I'll share my opinion on this as a whole. I think Aya and Dabo just gotta avoid each other like the plague. Nobody should be seeing their toxic relationship. I get is content, but is it healthy? No. It's bad for the mental because when all of this is said and done, they're gonna both have to revisit these events in their mind and cope with how everything played out. I can attest to this. You will come back to this. They are quite literally living and thriving in negativity, and that's not a long-term way of life. Both of them are toxic. Not just Aya, despite what the title says. He has a history of being a bit of a cheater or just on some weird type of energy, moving in ways you shouldn't be when you're exclusive with someone, flirting with girls, whatever. Overall though, I can't stress this enough. There is a serious issue with oversharing and too much being open for public scrutiny and opinion. And if I'm being real, I shouldn't even have an opinion on this, much less a video. But because all of this is being streamed, it's enabling me to share what I think when I really shouldn't even have this opportunity. But you know what? It's them. If they want to have their dirty laundry aired, I'll talk about it. But that's all I had to say. If you mess with my unsolicited opinions, subscribe. Join my membership. Join my Discord. I do want that shit active. I'm out though. Y'all be easy. Bye-bye.
I'm a rasta on the weekend. I'm in the party, I'm geeking. No rust when I'm leaning. The VIP session is where I be in. I've gotta chill out, cause I can feel all the demons. I'm hot and I'm cold, I can feel all of the seasons. Flights across the country, I'm seeing all of the regions. Life is so amazing, I wanna be it forever. My type is a god, that's a gun. Same as Berettas. She Italian but she a dark skin, I think she